Oh, so close to me, you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard. Oh, so close to me, you burn in hell forever, 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 forever. Boulevard.
the king, the god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies versus the World is a podcast every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution within the fans to unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World, 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
Oh, so Christ, may you burn in hell forever, 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 forever,
forever. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Wednesday edition of Blvd Bullies versus the World. It's November 15th. It's almost Sagittarius season, and guess what? We're fucking. I am your host, PK, with the Blvd, and I'm joined, as always, by the exalted crew, the lads, the fam, the real bullies in this bitch. Larry, I'm channeling your commentary skills. First and foremost, we have former boat owner, showcase showdown winner. Probably could have had Drew Carey drop to his knees and give him a quick blowy right there on stage if he wanted to, because it's Sag season and we're fucking. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain of the ship, my wrestling father, and perhaps the greatest living ring announcer in the world today. My best friend and yours, Larry the Legend. What's up, Larry?
Thank you, Patrick. You outdo yourself every introduction. Proceed.
Thank you. And secondly, and always a joy, always wearing the proper vintage throwback freshest wrestling gear. This man graduated regular college, and he said, you know what, that's not enough. I'm going to go to deathmatch medical school, and then I'm going to do a 4-year program there, graduate that, then a 2-year residency, and then also I can go to MLW, put a little Band-Aid on somebody's fucking head, the deathmatch doctor, and new entrepreneur, owner of his own.
Yes.
And which we will get into. Ladies and gentlemen, ringside Sean.
What is going on, everybody? Pleasure to be here this week. Big episode today. A lot to talk about, a lot to do. How are you guys?
We're doing all right. Brian, and I see that you are wearing the well, ladies and gentlemen, and last but not least, the man who is wearing the shirt.
You know what that sound is, I mean.
He is wearing the shirt of the man who wrote our theme music. Slug Christ, shout out, friend of the program. We should have him on one day, maybe a live performance.
Oh, God, yes.
Look, you're booking guests after you just yelled at me.
No more guests, Brian.
Ladies
and gentlemen, this guy is the deathmatch moderator turned admin, turned mayor, turned governor, and probably one day the president of Deathmatch Elite.
Word.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bad Take Bry, the merch guy.
For first ever Jewish president. I'm still high off of yesterday's episode and your lovely apology.
That's right. For those of you who missed last night, I did like a little bony episode, a little bonus.
I was fully boned after that.
I have a question. Real quick.
What's your whole
topic? Do you guys feel that
Okay, we'll go this way.
Slowly becoming the Rick Rubin of deathmatch wrestling? I had to just stop real quick because you've become like super duper gravitating in a way, and a lot of people gravitate towards him. So I'm kind of feeling just your power and strength. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick, bro. Just want to throw it out there.
I think it's an astute observation, Sean, because Rick Rubin, dig that alliteration, was really the traffic control of Run DMC, of LL Cool J. You over here. And when that shit all came together, Rick Rubin is on the top of the fucking mountain of the industry. So I bet you, yeah, we're seeing the makings of a young, a Jace Rick Rubin in Gins.
Have you seen this video of Rick Rubin where they're interviewing him on like 60 Minutes or something, and they're like, do you know how to play an instrument? He goes, no. They're like, well, do you know how to work the mixing board? He goes, nah, barely. And they're like, well, what makes you like the man? And he goes, I think what makes me, valuable is that I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and I know how to communicate that in a productive way. And if you think about it, that is kind of like Brian. Just imagine Brian cheering, front row, hammered drunk, or slamming and breaking guardrail. That's basically all it takes to be the Rick Rubin of deathmatch wrestling. Just you got to be the loudest motherfucker.
Yeah, it's I don't know, Brian. You have something that's very pulling, very astrology. Astrology. That's not even the word I'm looking for.
Astrological.
Astrological. You have something that pulls like galaxies,
gravitational,
together, Milky Ways, and things just going from point A to point B like that.
At heart, we are bullies, and that's a bully's job, is to be gravitational and enthusiastic.
Well, I just want to say, we appreciate what you do.
Yeah, I've been more anti-gravitational in my bully's career, projecting but anyway, the point is that last night at I implore you, please, if you are new to the program, we did a walk down Bullies Lane. We had special guest call-ins from all three members. We could have just done a fucking episode, really. But we watched.
It made it fun.
We watched the first ever Tournament of Death vlog video, and me and the boys are absolutely unhinged maniacs. A vibe that Brian would have fit right in with. And it's almost like I've lost my way. And I said this on the air last night, and I'll say it on the air right now, Brian. When we started this channel, it was all about using licensed music to make the shit hit hard. We didn't care about demonetization. We didn't care about being too drunk at shows. And just little by little, my enthusiasm got chipped away. I started worrying about the analytics, worrying about the numbers, worrying about the dollars and cents. And you have championed the cause this whole time. It's like you were the only one who didn't forget about those old videos. And I issued you a public apology last night, and I'm issuing you a public apology right now here tonight. And I guarantee everybody watching at home and you three that this XPW 1125 show and subsequent video that I will make is going to be a full return to form. And it's going to be a fucking banger. And it's going to shred. And that's what I have to say about that. Hey, tonight on the show, Drake Younger.
Woo!
Drake Younger will join us. They said it couldn't be done. But
we're climbing the mountain, boys. We're climbing the mountain.
Yeah.
We're climbing. You know what? Cliffhanger, baby. Call me Sly Stones. Cliffhanger.
And thank you to everybody in the chat. I see all of our regulars complimenting last night's show. Bren says Sean is the billionaire backer of the Bullies. So hello to everybody. Haven't watched the show since Dirty Ron. Hey, listen, we are trying to get those watch hours up so we can reapply for monetization, so we can be the quickest channel to ever be remonetized and demonetized within a day. So if you missed old episodes, please go back and watch them. Keep them on in the background. Put them on while you're doing some work, maybe have it on your second monitor as you're ordering Blvd Bullies merchandise off blvdbullies.bigcartel.com.
While you're fucking.
Maybe just do 1-2 punch, because we are so close to being remonetized. And yeah, last night inspired me. Watching those old videos, I was like, who edited this? And I was like, oh, that's right. Me. I did. It was me.
It's me all along. Damn it.
I gotta share another feeling that I was feeling. All of our faces were a lot more. All of our faces were a lot more smooth.
Oh yeah.
Those MJF videos in particular. I'd forgotten how young that boy looked all those years ago. How young of a boy that was. That we now see a man. A full-fledged man on television as the world champion, the recognized world champion. For that alone, for the look back at us interacting with Max when he was but a boy.
He was just but a boy.
Legendary shit, dude.
It's amazing to me.
You know,
the cameos of individuals, including our guest tonight.
Right, Drake Younger made an appearance at Pretzelmania.
That's right. The one that I requested. You thought it was irked up.
Right.
But it was me. I wanted to see it again.
You know, that's what we used to do. We would
Biff
just
retired? Did Biff hang him up?
Biff Busick?
Yeah. Well, he got released and he went.
He's I think he's a producer for WWE.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he's not working no more.
No, but he's creating the magic that we see on TV that keeps us showing up every week.
Well, Biff Busick, do you remember, Larry, in 2016 at the NYWC Sportatorium?
How could I forget?
It was Biff Busick versus Nico Suzio in a
How could I forget?
no rope barbed wire match. And at one point, Nico Suzio just pulled out a pocket knife, switchblade. And I waited for the quietest moment. I was like, watch out, he's got a knife. And I turned to you and you were like belly laughing so hard. Yo, those were the days. We were young and smooth. There's only two things that are proven to give you wrinkles faster than any other thing. And that's tanning and smoking cigs. And Max has been doing one, and me and you, Larry, have been doing the other.
Yeah, it was wild. That for me, that was the real sort of like, oh my God, look how young, look at that little baby boy, look at that little baby boy. And now he's on our TV. He's the champion. Did you do any of the Hammerstein Ballroom stuff? I remember you got to talk to Cole right before Cole left us.
That's right. Yeah, we had a whole Adam Cole interview.
Yeah,
he was wearing a flannel.
Awesome.
He was wearing a flannel, not unlike the one that you are wearing this evening, and that's how he was saying no to everybody and walking out the door. And I went, "Hey, that's a really nice shirt," and it stopped him for just enough time that we ran up on him with the camera. We trapped him, and then once we trapped him, I was like, "Oh, just come over here, stand over here now." Stand over here.
I like the way that he kind of powdered out, like he was letting you guys know I'm done. He was like doing these kind of like point to the camera. Yeah, like total class act, as you may hear in the biz.
Very
class
nice guy.
act.
Very nice guy.
And I wish him a speedy recovery.
I don't think he's injured. I'm going to be honest with you right now.
I think he's the devil.
He's the devil, and it's a fake injury. They put some fucking bruise makeup on that shit. You know who gave it away? Britt Baker. She went too hard. She should have been more subtle. But she put a whole post about it, how he's really injured. It's like, well, nobody's saying he's not really injured. Why'd you say that?
I'm hearing is David Finlay.
The devil? It's only cool if it's Adam Cole, because not only they had the whole fucking feud for the title, but they are also the tag team champions of Ring of Honor.
If he's hurt,
it's just the coolest.
If he's not hurt, that little jump he did off that little ramp back in AEW when they did the show here in Queens, when he injured himself, did a good job selling it. Because it really looked like he hurt himself, if you ask me. They say he really tore the ankle in places where it doesn't tear. And he had to get all this reconstructive surgery. That's why he's out so long.
Yo, let me tell you something. When you are of a certain age,
Possible.
Jumping down from a loading dock is not as easy as it once was.
Hell no. That shock that you feel.
Looking fucking to the left is not easy as it once was.
Yeah, that is also
It hurt
true.
your goddamn neck.
I don't want to stay too much on AEW because this has now become a deathmatch wrestling program, and we do have Drake Younger on this evening. But I will say this: Jedi Joe, my co-host tomorrow night for our Here Comes the Lame podcast, friend of the program, part of the team.
Yeah, bully a Jace.
Family.
Full bully.
Full bully family. Family. We're family.
So much a bully that he can't win the giveaways.
Right.
You gotta find your way around it, Papa.
Oh, speaking of giveaways, we have to.
Okay, I know we're getting there too.
I was thinking it minutes ago, Brian, but I was like, I'm not saying anything.
Well, just try to,
I'm riding the wave.
Yeah, just try to ride the wave. What does Marty McFly say? And hey, this one's in B minor. Take the bass line for a walk and try to keep up.
Right.
So. Anyway, Jedi Joe mentioned something to me that kind of shook the ground that I was standing on. And what if What if the devil mask guy is
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk?
Dude,
That's what
someone
I
else
heard
said
too.
that. Someone else said that, dude.
And
Someone
everything
else
else
said
has
that.
been a big smokescreen. And you know, I was tricked. It might be the greatest work ever. And the greatest deed the devil ever did was making people think blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
There's no goddamn way because he
So
fucking
what?
made
And it will
Tony
be
Khan
like,
fear for his little life.
No,
oh,
they
Tony
just said
Khan.
that. They just made that up.
No, that would
Tony
be. I
Khan
mean, if
also
they
has a
made
big
that up, then
announcement,
I would
guys.
say that if you're like a PC person, that's not very
Mhm.
PC to do, to like cry wolf and say that you were fearing for your life, so you had to release a person.
Wrestling.
It's a work.
Yeah.
Wrestling,
But
brother.
it was.
wrestling.
I would be very happy if that was the case, but I don't believe it to be true.
It's a wrestling press conference. And what
I
you do
get
at a
it. Nope.
wrestling. Listen, I'll say this.
I get it.
I'll
I'm
say
saying
this,
that I
and
don't
we'll just
believe. I
leave
don't
this
believe
for
that's there.
Pat and Jedi Joe tomorrow.
You already think that CM Punk is going to be at Survivor Series.
Me? Why not?
Well, if he's going to be at Survivor Series, he's not the devil.
And why can't he be the devil?
Give me them both.
He
What
could
if
be
it's a
them
brand
both.
new day?
Now you guys are really fucking losing
It's
it.
pro wrestling. Listen,
You never know.
I see. I'll leave it at this, and like Pat said, we'll take it up tomorrow. I see Tony Khan is very influenced by the late '80s, early '90s of professional wrestling. Your Jack Tunney's, your press conferences before Trump, WrestleMania, WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 5. You need things like that to keep stories active, people engaged and wanting to be there. Think about it. Back then, they didn't have phones, they didn't have internet. All they had was the hearsay. You had to be there to see it. And he's trying to make a product where people make it their business to be there to see it. Now, am I saying it's enjoyable? No, it's not. I don't find it enjoyable, but I see the approach. And if that approach is that, we will be having a very, very big surprise and we won't be expecting it. Just like his very big announcement. This was it Saturday on Collision. So that may have to do with that.
Bren in the chat says Brian is going to be a great interviewer one day. Just got to pop that cherry.
Mm-hmm.
Larry's
I
been
believe
saying
so.
that. Larry's been
I
saying
already
that.
said it.
I believe that too.
I just want to see. I missed a question here from one of our guests. And by the way, Brian, while I look through this, let's talk about these giveaways. So here's how it works from now on.
What? My favorite part.
It's Larry's favorite goddamn part.
Yeah, I like the giveaways. I like to see. I never know what they are. I never look before I get here.
Right,
So I'm like,
Larry
what is it?
never reads the show notes or text,
Never.
so he's always
Never.
surprised.
I mean, if you ever notice, I run to the back in between every match because I don't even look at the lineup. I have no clue what the next match is until I run to the back to look.
Wow,
That's how much of a professional I am.
Dude, that is a strategy that I never thought of. Here I am scrambling around looking for the notes and everything. But what if somebody has like a very long-winded intro that you don't know? Do you just ask them right before you hit the curtain?
Probably.
Yeah, I just ask them in the back. I'm like, a lot of them I'm familiar with, and I just need to hear it one more time. Like, hey, give it to me one more time. And they're always obliged. You know, they always know I'm about to ring hell's bells for them, so they want me to say it the way they want it to sound. And everybody always tells me. So yeah, I just run to the back. I just run to the back as they're sweeping up the glass. I get it one more time. They're usually back there, you know, stretching and shit, and it's in my head.
Doing their pump.
Yeah, with a little last pump. The Schlack is a big last minute pumper.
Yo,
like 50 push-ups right there, Gorilla.
I have a terrible short-term memory, so like I would forget what they said between the curtain and the ring. It would completely leave my brain.
I feel you, especially under pressure.
Some of them have great shit though. Like for example, what I'm going to bring up to Drake. It was very easy for me to commit his intro to memory because of all the kind of fucking cool things that I was saying that went to that music. The ultra-violent psycho shooter, Drake Younger from that town, bro. It's like, yeah, I got that. That's like, that's not no shit you be hearing no announcer say.
I am seeing that there are reports that there will be no more Lou Nixon or Big Joe in XPW. Is this true?
That's news to me.
Why is that?
Big Joe is considered one of the Peas on Their 4 Pillars T-shirt.
Huh.
He was at the last New Jersey, the New Jersey event.
Well, Lou's last appearance, to my knowledge, was losing to Rina Yamashita. How you say it, Sean?
Yamashita.
He lost to her, eh?
Yes,
Wasn't
for
that
sure.
like the last
It was
thing Lou did?
it was
The last
it was
thing
for
I
the
heard
it was
Lou
for the
doing
title. It
was
was for
he
the title. He
appeared on
lost. He didn't win.
GCW with Rob Black's blessing, and he lost to Rena. That's
Yes.
the last thing I remember hearing of him. And the last thing Joe did was win Tournament of Death.
Huh.
Of
What's
course,
up,
that I
Pajama
can remember
Band?
of note.
Pajama Dan, shout out. Juberg is bringing a whole movement, and I'm with it. And those who get lost in the sauce are going to be left in the dust. Order XPW now.
Wow.
Well said, Pajama Dan. Well
Yo, what's up,
said.
Pajama Dan. Pajama Dan.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that they both could possibly have gone on to like greener pastures. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
It would not like shock me for those two international talents to now have been like courted.
I'm
other
seeing
shit.
reports that Big Joe has been booked to wrestle in GCW LA, and he will be wrestling for GCW now.
No
This
way.
is what I'm saying.
Is that how Rob
This is what I'm
operates?
saying.
Like, if you get booked at ICW or GCW, you're basically done, son?
Schlack has wrestled at a few. He wrestled at Ruthless Pro, and he also did the.
But not those two, but those other two.
That's true.
Like
That's
direct
true.
competitors, direct enemies.
Direct enemies. Lucky 13 does H2O, but not ICW. Madman Pondo, I guess, is doing ICW, but
Yo, Saturday, December 9th, Big fucking Joe, GCW highest in the room. That's a fact. 54 minutes ago, just signed.
Wow, so I guess
Big
that's
fucking
breaking
Joe
news.
returns to
Breaking
GCW
news.
December 9th in LA. And they got Andrade versus Joey Janela.
that's huge.
Yeah, nah, they tweaked. They tweaked. But like I'll be honest, like sometimes I feel like when you have to have exclusivity to a certain brand, it kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you got to go there to see the person, but like, what does that really do for like the worker?
Well,
You know what I'm
Schlack,
saying? Like,
Schlack was also very exclusive to XPW, so he could be built as a certain character, and then he was able to branch out and be that character at Ruthless Pro and Tournament of Death. And
Right.
and he went to Mexico, and he's going to fucking UK to do the fucking the TNT, the DOA.
yep.
So he's going places. He's not just doing XPW exclusively.
Yo, you know what else I watched this week? And I'm going
What?
to talk about it on, well, I talked about it last Thursday, but I watched not the Brandon Kirk. I think it's Brandon Kirk because him and Casey are in so much of it in the beginning, but the Cruel Tremont cinematic match, I watched it. And, you know, the first 20 minutes was an interview, an interview with the Kirks about, like, Cruel and how much of a monstrous, you know, whatever he is to, like, I guess, set it up.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucked because they suck. But the match itself and the production of it, highly recommended. Matt Tremont is the man, and this was a good piece of business. It was a little corny, a little hokey.
I thought the interview was a good idea, but just done poorly. Like it was at first, it was a good, but it was just too long. Like I liked the idea of it.
Did you watch it?
I watched the interview, but I fucking fell asleep.
Yeah, because the
Like,
the setup is
too
like
long.
a
It
half
was
an hour. It's
It's
about
way
30.
too long. It could have
Yeah.
been done better, but it's a good idea. I still liked the idea of it, and I thought it was a good piece of work, as you said. Speaking of fucking cinematic matches, we're like purveyors of cinematic matches. We
Yeah,
were
we had an
involved. We were
idea.
involved in the first. We were involved with the Shred Shed. That's like the first ever cinematic death match. No, and then we
Yeah.
did the fucking baptism.
Look at us.
Look at us go.
Doing things.
Let's talk about giveaways, and then we'll get into more stuff.
Oh yes, the giveaway.
Yeah,
Last
hold
week,
on. Look, another one real quick. Joe was announced for Zona 23 in Mexico, the junkyard.
that's right.
So what does that mean? Does that mean he's just moving on and he doesn't have
He's
time for
doing-
for XP?
It seems like he's taking his bookings and he's doing his thing.
Well, that doesn't just mean that he's never wrestling for XPW again.
Yeah,
That
it just means he's taking his bookings and doing his thing.
right. Who's to say that he won't be at the next XPW? Who's to say that? Like, you don't know. No one knows.
Maybe he's West Coast based and we won't see him until next month when they're gonna be in LA next month, right?
Larry, do you have
SPW?
any inside info on this, Larry?
I mean, inside info, no. I'm just hearing about it, but just connecting the dots the way that I did when we first started discussing it. Lou took the booking for GCW. I don't know if it was in the UK or whatever, and he lost to Reno.
Right.
All right, so Lou and Joe are not a tag team, but they're kind of like on excursion together.
They sit on each
Yeah.
other's laps on the flight.
They're
Right.
bouncing
One-
everywhere.
one seat.
They vomited in my rental. Well, Lou did anyway, you know, after leaving Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, you know?
What?
They're young guys that are fucking making their name, you know? So I don't know who jumped to the conclusion that they're done with XPW.
I think people just assume that because Rob says like if you do work with certain people, then you're not working with XPW. So people just assume that if people are working there now, they're just not going to be working with XPW anymore. I think is the assumption.
I think we gotta figure that out with the man himself then.
I think
Next
that's
time we speak
possible.
to him.
Brian, get on that with your now daily appearance on the show. You have like a spot on the show.
He kicked me off yesterday. He hung up on me
Why?
because I was defending his cat. And I
You
think
defended the cat.
I defended it. I'm a cat
Martini?
owner.
Oh, a cat, a feline.
No, like a feline.
that was
cat,
good.
yeah.
That was good.
A domesticated cat. And he hung up on me because I said that he was complaining. He was complaining that the cat ate his food and smells stinky. So I said that he should be thankful that the cat is appreciative of his food and he should maybe clean the cat
Bathe
so
the
it doesn't
cat.
stink. Bathe
What
the
do you do
cat.
with the cat? You just lick the cat?
I
What do
think
you
you gotta
mean,
lick
lick
it.
it?
I think that's how they
How do
clean.
you clean it?
Use
Right,
your
lick it.
human hands. You use your human hands and
Uh-huh.
soap, cat soap, maybe. You wipe.
How do you clean your cats?
That's how I do. I have wipes that smell good that are made for cats that you wipe their paws and maybe their butts with so they don't stink.
You ever gave your cat a bath?
No,
No.
no. Not
Larry?
a full,
That
not a
sounds
full
like a
bath.
tough proposition to give
Because
a cat
from what
a bath.
I've never had a cat. I've
Some
only had
cats
dogs.
like water.
Larry, does your cat like water?
I've given several cats baths. It is a very arduous and difficult process.
Is it?
I recommend that you've had them from a kitten if you ever want to bathe them. And I've only done it when I've had infestations of fleas from dogs, because I've been a dog and cat owner for the majority of my life. And a lot of the times we let the cat be kind of like a farm cat that just goes out and comes in, and they fuck around with other feral cats and bring home, you know, pests. So yeah, I've bathed my cats. There are books that talk about the best way to do it with like a crate, like the way that your cat is going to react to the water. You know, it's never going to bite you, but its claws are going to be out. Like, I want to get out of this shit as soon as possible. And the bath does not last a long time. And a lot of the times you get to redeem yourself with the swaddling. You know, the cat's going to like get away from you and lick itself. It's going to try to lick all that water off.
Yeah.
But once it kind of calms down and you bring that towel and you're like, come here, I'm not going to bathe you anymore. Feel this. It loves it. So,
Oh, of course.
Well, I might have lost my spot on the Roberto Negro show because I defended the cat. So.
I mean, I've never heard of a cat stinking.
He was saying his smelly, stinky cat.
Yeah,
I think he just hates.
probably the
He just
litter-
hates the cat. He
litter
just hates the
box
cat. He
is
calls
probably
it. He calls it a
stinky.
garbage. He
He
calls
was
it a
calling
garbage
it
cat.
a smelly cat.
A garbage cat.
A garbage cat. Sounds like he watches Friends.
Well, a garbage cat is a
Please,
specific
Sean,
kind of
keep
cat
your-
that's found in the garbage,
Sean,
and they're
please,
saved. They're like rescue cats.
Does Rob Black watch Friends?
please stop talking about
have to ask.
Fred's smelly cat. You already compared Brian to Rob Rubin or Rick Rubin.
Rick
Rick
Rubin.
Rubin. Rick
Roberto-
Rubin.
well,
not
we're talking
Reuben
about,
Sandwich. Roberto Rubin. over
Roberto
here.
Rubin.
giveaways.
Yes,
For
that's
the
what
love
I'm
of
trying.
God,
I'm
giveaways.
trying to get to Larry's favorite fucking part here.
Yeah, but we have to remind these people that they have to send us their address, or else they're not going to get the giveaway.
All right,
Because
so if you are,
I still have these cards, these stickers,
Just-
and we got to send them somewhere.
We're getting there. We're getting there. So if you're a new viewer to the show, or you forgot how it works, we used to do donation giveaways. So they were quote giveaways. Now they're real giveaways. All you got to do is comment on this video. And next week, we're going to put all your names into a little Newport box, and we are going to shake them around, and we're going to give you
What,
the giveaway.
Brian, what?
It's not. You have to be specific. It's not in the live comments either. You have to comment on. It's like because people were messaging me. And it's like, oh, I comment in the live comments every week, and I
Okay.
never been injected into the
This
giveaway.
is a good call out,
That is
Brian.
good job, Brian.
This is
Good
a
job.
good
Very
call out.
good.
Just
Brian.
saying.
Very
Good job. Good job, Brian.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's why you are the merch guy. And,
Very,
so
very.
you have to comment.
The fucking Rock.
You have to comment on the video, not in the chat. We appreciate the chat, and I always try to get to the chat as much as possible.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
But
can't do it.
you know, you have to comment on. So Brian, we're gonna get into this week's giveaway. So what is this week's giveaway, Brian?
This week's giveaway is our very own Eddie Kingston, who we help get into AEW by heckling and angering him
I will
and giving him the attitude that he needed to cut a promo and get hired and a contract to AEW.
You know what you were, Brian? On that night, you were his coach. You were his coach, Brian.
Dude, look how he looks pretty fucking good there too.
Yo, you know the
compared
best part
to
of
when I
that
made
is
fun
when
of
he
him.
slaps his chest and like the sweat pops off of it, and it just
He's a real man.
catches the light.
I don't see, Pat. I'm conflicted. I don't know if it's that or if it's young Isaac down at the on the ground, like zooming in and out with the camera that I love the most when he says, "I'm a grown man," because you see young Isaac with the camera on the fucking the deal,
card?
like doing the
No, this is
magic.
2022.
He's not making magic. He's an idiot because he's just a
Pat.
he's just a mark with a camera on a freaking Vespa or whatever you call it, the geo locating fucking thing. And let me tell you something. A professional, Larry, would stay right there, not fucking do this and make it about themselves. And you can fucking keyframe that post, bitch.
Okay, Pat.
All right?
I don't know the tag.
Isaac, who, by the way, made an appearance in one of last night's video, jumping up and down in the front row like a gleeful little elf boy. All right, so I got nothing to say about that. Oh, and then, oh my God, I've been a fan. I'm a videographer. Now I'm a promoter. Fuck out of here with your billionaire backers. Hey, by the way, Larry's VXS tie-dye T-shirt now available.
I'm only selling that at the shows.
And you're saving me
because
a 4X.
it's expensive. I'm selling it for. I talked to the good doctor Redacted, and I was like, "Yo, bro, how much did you sell your tie-dye Johns for?" And he told me, and I'm not putting that price up online. If you see me at a show, if you want one,
a good tie-dye shirt these days goes for at least $60 to $80.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not even giving them online. You come to me. It's a very small batch order. Very small batch.
And the last 4X got my name on it, as promised, for my birthday.
That's right, Patrick. You get a 4XL. You get a 4XL, and I got a 5XL for the greatest big man in wrestling today, Vince Steele. But it's not tie-dye. It's the last of the just straight up purple VXS Japanese, characters on the back.
All right.
I don't know if they're running. Pat. I mean, they do a lot of social media activity, and
Who
a lot
doesn't?
of sort of like thinking, like ... What are we doing? Like posts I see a lot of the times, but I don't know.
You know what I realized? I
contacted.
realized a few different things this week, Larry. It's been a very, very educational and enlightening week to me, and I'm going to keep it moving because we got a lot to get to before Drake Younger at 8 o'clock.
Yes, we do.
But I'm going to tell you 3 things. The only thing you need to take a black and white photo is black and white film. The only thing you need to book a wrestler is a little bit of money and then their email address. The only thing you need to sell pussy is to have one and want to. All right? So those are the 3 truths in life that I've learned this week. So all 3 of those could be applied to wrestling. Hey, Brian, talk about the giveaways from last week before I read the comments. And we're having a little bit of technical.
Ready?
No,
I mean, I just
this
showed
week,
him.
Larry.
I just showed it. I showed it upon the screen.
And
this
he
is
has a
last
message.
week's.
He has a message for the winners.
The message, right? The message for the winners is you have to contact us. Send me a message or Blvd Bullies with your address, and we will send this to you.
Liar!
My drumsticks, they are double-sided. They can be boofed before I send them. If
Possible
you like.
boofable drumsticks, yes.
If you're boofing them, if you boof one and Amanda boof ones, I want them.
Okay.
So this week, these are the comments. These are the comments from last week's show. So your name is going to be put into a Newport box and drawn. You could win Sarge's Heroes 2 N64 green cartridge and Brian's potentially boofed drumsticks. Hey, how dope was Madman Pondo on the show last week?
I thought he was going to yell at you.
he definitely hated me. And the first comment is from 41 Down, who says
He
the
hated
awkwardness. The awkwardness between Pat and Pondo was my favorite part of the entire show. Love you guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, do you think he
I
hated me?
didn't know.
No,
No,
I
didn't
think he was
know
having.
that.
I think he was having a great time. He thanked. I mean, after every interview, everyone has always thanked me and told me how great of a time they've had and how they want to come back. So we've never
Okay,
had.
Ryan, we're gonna have guests. We're just saying we're having too many of them.
No, I'm just saying Patrick thinks that we upset him, but I'm just saying that we've never upset
Pat
any of our guests.
upset him.
No, nobody
Pat
upset
wasn't
anybody.
upset.
I
damn it.
upset him.
Okay, we didn't upset him. We
God
did a
damn.
good job by
Nobody
Pondo.
upset
He was talking
anybody.
about all. I never knew my shit was so clear back here.
Got good
Hell
eyes.
yeah, you can
Like
see
to me,
everything,
this shit is
bro.
like in the background.
He was just
Now you
calling
got-
shit out.
You got a
Yeah,
nice
it works
media
for the
section
CIA.
there.
I betcha. I betcha.
And last week we also had a massive discussion about if we're having too many guests, if we're a guest show, if we're just a hangout show. But yeah, once Madman Pondo, once I like missed a few questions and like he was like correcting me and like we had Rob Black overlap with him when he started
Legendary moment.
when he started getting up to go like root through his like stuff to show Larry. I just like I made it a bit like I was like, oh, he fucking hates us. Fucking hates us. Just say yes. Just agree with him. When he comes back, just agree with him. So like I like leaned into it a little bit.
It was
I did
great
not
shit.
purposely.
Of course you did. When it was nothing. It was much ado about nothing.
Right. We and that's what we do here on the show. We make much to do about nothing. And you
Nothing.
know,
I mean, that's my whole job as the announcer.
but I do think although
Show's about nothing.
although I was leaning into like saying he hated me, I was not purposely leaning into being a terrible interviewer, which I think made him hate me. So
You know what? You know what, Pat? Here's a little fatherly advice. Why don't you consider yourself the host of Blvd Bullies versus the World? And you let Brian and me and Sean do the whatchamacallit, and you're like on high. That's why you become
Oh, so
a voice.
I don't ask questions to the. I
You
don't
do. I mean, look.
Right, that's not a bad idea.
When Lawler does the Hall of Fame, he doesn't really induct people, but he fucking brings everybody out, so he's inducting everybody. He's hosting the fucking thing.
That
you know?
sounds
Drive
great.
the
He talks
train.
about everybody. He talks about everybody.
That sounds great.
Drive
Yeah.
the train into the station. That's it.
Because I am very bad at doing research about the guests and asking questions.
And I only do research because I lived with them. I've done shows with them and shit, you know?
All right, more comments from last week's Madman Pondo interview and the episode where we discussed whether we should have more guests or less guests. John Richter says, I love interviews. I don't think you will ever run out of guests because you can always tap into MLW, MCW, Circle 6, and many more of deathmatch and non-deathmatch wrestlers. But I do enjoy the banter and talking. I think 2 interviews a month is good. I agree with that. That's kind of what we landed on. I do think, Pat, you abruptly cut the interviews off mid-answers. Larry has great points and questions to bring. Sean has fairly questions. And Brian is more... Overall, I think you guys still are awesome. Brian, you're more of comedic, and Sean has fairly good questions as well. Overall, I think you guys are still awesome after all this time and are going in a great direction. Man, love homies. So John Richter basically echoes the sentiments that that I should no longer talk to the guests or I should just welcome them, let you guys take it away. Just keep my hands off of them.
Pat, you are fucking critical. You are critical to what we have here.
No,
It's just about like,
Yeah,
you
just
know,
be better. Just be better.
yeah, you do. Listen, you're doing everything right. Fuck Johnny Richter, thank you for that. But Pat, don't even.
No, I take it to heart.
You know,
I take
like
these
I
comments to
said,
heart.
I think you should be more like a host. You should be more like the host. And real quick, I want to interrupt. Shout out Drowned in Texas. My official sponsor for XPW Goes for Loco. Your boy's already booked in Houston, thanks
Let's
to
go.
my sponsor, Drowned in Texas. I want to shout him out right now on Blvd Bullies versus the World because he's making it happen, just like the Bocce Boys make it happen for so many over there.
Whoa,
The
whoa,
No
whoa.
Holds Barred compound. So yeah, shout out to Drowned in Texas. Follow them on everything. That's my homie. Sent me little hot dog placards
Friend of the
from
bullies,
my
friend
car.
of the
You know,
bullies.
those air fresheners that smell like hot dogs, and sponsored the legend himself, Larry, for
That's dope, bro.
XPW Discord
I'm
logo.
getting an all capitals comment right now from Tony Norman saying, "Know your
Oh.
role, Pat." And this next comment is from Tony Norman regarding last week. Brian is booking great guests, and it's apparently boosting viewer numbers. Patrick, you're just jealous. Keep it coming, fellas.
Woo.
So damn, I'm getting roasted.
Wow!
I'm getting
Fans.
fucking
How you
killed
feel
this
about
week.
that?
Fans.
I'm getting
Tony
absolutely
Norman. Tony
buried.
Norman is an OG too. He's an OG.
Tony
man.
Norman's an OG.
Chris
Fuck.
Chaos says all these Pondo stories told about ICP and Robert Englund are amazing. I could sit and listen to his stories all day. 2001 Maniacs was awesome. I somehow just don't believe that dude was threatened with legal action regarding Chris, the guy who canceled. And why would you be worried about Danny DeMonto seeing anyone? He looks like he lives in a dirty cat box and lives off Dinty Moore. I don't know what
Dinty
Dinty
Moore, wow.
I don't know what that
Dinty
is.
Moore, isn't that like beef stew? Like the canned beef stew?
Yeah, canned meat.
like
spam?
Nah, Dinty Moore, like Google it. It's literally like beef stew, canned beef stew.
And last but not least, Brendo says, all for the interviews, but not every week. I find it more enjoyable when you guys just talk about whatever, and I'll say it. Not everyone cares about XPW or Rob Black. Seems like a neat fellow. I don't watch his show. Bri, you're great, but these interviews are literally 90% Larry asking the questions, sipping the coffee cup, blowing weed smoke isn't bringing... Oh, this is you, Brian. Sipping the coffee cup, blowing weed smoke isn't bringing anything to the interview. I mean, just be Rob's toy car toilet flusher.
Is this who made the fucking the
Toy
picture?
car toilet flusher. I'm thinking maybe. This is the person who sent me the
Damn,
Photoshop
bro.
of you doing that.
Damn.
I
we
mean,
need visual aids.
I
Where's
get
our
what
visual
everybody's
aids?
saying. I get the discourse, and that's what we're here for.
I love
We're
reading the
here
fan
for
mail.
the
These
dialogue.
comments, this is like the high, besides obviously our exalted guest, Chick Younger, coming up in about 15 minutes. This is my favorite part of the show,
10
reading
minutes.
the comments. So keep them coming. But you know, Brendo pulls off a little bit. He goes, I'm old and cranky. Pat, Sean, and the beautiful Larry, you are great. Bri, calm your ego. And then Brian reaches out to him through comments back and says, how dare you? I thought I asked a very important questions to Pondo. And then Bren does back off and say, Brian, you're doing better.
Brian, so let me get this straight. You're also monitoring and administrating the YouTube comments?
How dare you yell at our viewers in the comments, Brian?
Brian!
I interact with our fans.
So you're the lead of HR here as well.
I was just you can comment on your if you want.
I
It's
feel
YouTube.
like just a thumbs up or a heart would have been sufficient. Just like
Oh,
letting
dick,
this
everybody.
person know that hey, you're engaging.
I'm
Like-
engaging. I think it's fun for fans if I engage.
No, Brian, I agree. Actually, I agree.
With who?
With you. I think you should continue to do whatever you believe to be true. I apologize to you, and I am now your emotional billionaire backer, Brian.
Cheers to this new era.
Guess what? Plot twist. I'm now a Brian supporter. Here we go. How about that for the new season? How about that for the new year? All right.
Always been a
Brian,
supporter.
please continue to
Love Brian.
sip that mug and chug on that joint while you hold up this week's giveaway. Or last week's giveaway.
This week's giveaway.
Or whatever. I don't know. You know, Brian.
This week's looked at
giveaway.
last week's 2 times over now.
Right.
Hold it
Wait,
up.
so
Eddie
this week's
Kingston.
Eddie
No, this is from
Kingston.
last week. This is from last week.
That's right. So the winner of
The
this
boof
is going to get
drumsticks
this
and the boof.
and the boof, unless they don't want it. But why wouldn't you?
Why would you want boof, Brian? You're
Makes
telling
it
them they're
special.
getting
I
boof.
confused myself. with
It's
the giveaway.
if on viewers' choice, Sean. I'm not saying it's forced boofing.
Okay. All right.
God
Just
damn
saying.
it.
Just saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
And
giving
this
it.
week's winner of the green Nintendo 64 cartridge,
The green Nintendo 64.
Army Men Sarge's Heroes
Dude, that's
3,
rare.
and produced by 3DO and 64.
Not rare.
And also Brian's boofed or unboofed drumsticks, Tony
Used.
Norman.
Tony
No!
Yes. I'm happy that Tony won.
I'm
Oh, Tony
happy
won
that
them?
Tony won.
Cheers to
Tony
Tony.
is an owner of one of the only Larry Legend figures in the world.
I thought you was gonna say a boat.
I
Probably
wonder
owns
if
the
he.
boat too.
I wonder if
Right.
he boofed the figure. Hey, I want to talk about one thing. We got
Better
Drake.
had.
We got Drake
So
Younger in
you
about
guys
10
sold it
minutes,
to
8
him.
minutes. What I've realized is that these fucking old school guys, they're gonna hit that fucking link at 8 o'clock exactly, and we better be.
Yeah, they're
prepared.
ready to go.
Pondo
Pat. They're
Pondo
not
was
like us.
okay. Pondo was early. He was at least 3 to 4 minutes early, and that
And do you want to
is
know
why he cut into Rob Black's time.
Yeah,
You
like
wanna
we
know
wouldn't have.
why?
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Hondo was early because there's an old school saying: when you're early, you're on time. When you're on time, you're late.
I'm always early. I'm the only one here that's always early.
Well,
Dude,
no, because
dude,
dude, come on.
I'm early. I'm early.
No, but
as
you're
well.
you're
early.
you're but
Start.
I'm waiting for you. You don't even know it.
Oh wow,
I'm ready to go.
I'm already sitting here ready, dude. My shit's set up. I'm sitting here waiting for the
What
link.
time do you arrive to work?
Me?
Yeah, here.
30 minutes early. Oh,
So-
I
so
my
6
actual job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My actual job, I get to work at 4 to 12, and I get to work at 3:30.
Wow, that's good.
And I get changed, and I clock in, and I'm ready to go. I relieve the guy 10 minutes early so he can get the fuck out of there.
That's
he
nice
loves-
of you.
Wow.
Does he give you a Christmas card?
No,
And how?
I mean,
And
something-
how?
something like
how
that you
many
do.
the
minutes?
nice Egyptian man.
So you're basically
nice.
sitting in front of the computer with your headset on at 6 o'clock.
Wow, you look like a 911
Between
operator.
6 and 6:15, I'm ready to go.
Wow. All right. Okay. I
I'm
stand
sorry.
corrected.
I have to do this for the very first time. I'm going to the bathroom.
Okay, that's great.
What?
That's great.
allowed.
Hey, we gotta be on empty bladders for Drake Younger. Sean, I want to
Yo.
talk to you for the next
Talk to
8
me.
minutes.
Talk to
This
me.
week, you released a statement saying that you are going to be leaving PWJ Cards. I thought it was a very beautifully written statement, by the way. So kudos.
Thank you.
Very classy. And you are
Thank
the
you.
classiest classiest and most professional member of the show in your own way. And well, in many metrics, you check many boxes as far as being an intelligent professional. And I thought that your statement regarding you leaving PWJ Cards reflected that. Do you care to talk about that comment? Do you have a message for our people?
Yeah, why not? Why not? I spent a little over a year with PWJ. Throughout that time, I got to do some cool things. One of those being like traveling to places I've never been and actually working with talent. For those of you who don't know, I was wrestling before I was doing any of this, and that was some years ago. So for me to actually be back in the field that I genuinely love was awesome. During my time there, I learned how to do things, and one of the things was creation. So what I'm doing on my next venture is creating more awesome things for the fans out there. And I'm doing it under my own banner, something I never thought I'd be able to do. So you guys are hearing it first. Our very first card that's going to be happening with Ringside Relics
Ooh.
is the human meat grinder himself, Schlack.
Huh.
Nice.
What a coincidence.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
Very
yeah,
excited.
Sean. Sean, we're so proud of you. I think I speak
Thank
for
you.
both Larry and Brian and all the heads in the chat where I say that
many
you
heads.
have Ringside Relics has our undying support and love. And Schlack is the perfect first card
Why not,
because
right?
he's the man. As you could see every week or not on this show, he owes us about 20 minutes, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been MIA.
Ryan, did you send him the link?
I sent him the link the past 2 weeks,
There
goddammit.
was controversy.
only
There was
missed-
controversy that you did not
1
send
week.
the link.
1 week I messed up, and I've admitted to my fault, my wrongdoings.
So Sean, that's awesome. Congratulations
Thank
in the
you.
chat. Any final words or thoughts regarding Ringside Relics and the plan?
Nothing, just
I
you
like
guys
the
will-
alliteration.
Thank you. You guys will be updated very soon with a page and a nice video that will leave you guys tiptoeing for some more. So be ready for Ringside Relics.
And if you need a guy to make a few logos, hit me up. I know somebody. Hey, everybody's shouting out you in the chat. Congratulations, Sean. Congrats, Sean. Way to go.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
you know what?
Thank you.
And sometimes it's time to make a move, Larry knows all about it. I don't think I've ever left an organization or a situation or any kind of relationship in a classy way. I like to take that low road, burn that bridge, and wish my enemies a slow death. So as somebody who literally
A lot of I really didn't go out of Ring of Honor screaming like what, like you tried on my behalf, Pat. There was a Boulevard Bullies from the Hammerstein where you ran up on the Young Bucks and you were like, why'd you guys fire Larry? Remember that?
Yes.
You remember, like, you ran up on the Office. The Office,
Oh,
Cody, the Young Bucks, Mandy.
Oh, yeah.
The whole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you were like, why'd you guys fire Larry?
Oh
But
my
I
God,
never
dude,
really
we didn't even get into those Ring of Honor videos last night.
That's why it has to happen at least once a month.
The Cody Rhodes interview might be fucking legendary shit, actually, because I
all
yell at him
legendary
when he's at his car, and then we called it an interview.
It's
There
not
are
an
no
interview. It
roads.
wasn't an interview. It was him it was him looking and flashing you a look.
He
like
looked
you're-
at me once. He locked eyes with me accidentally once.
So that's already interview right there.
Yeah, boom, nailed it.
Boom, interview.
Exclusive interview with Cody Rhodes of the Bullet Club.
Yep.
That's
Great
how you
thumbnail.
do it.
Wow,
That's how
that
you
is
do it.
that is so wild to think of that time of those guys and where they all are now,
Yeah.
having been right there and to have borne witness to it and filmed it and been like, oh yeah, remember this?
Dude, and one of the
Same.
things, I was looking through my old photos today, and I was thinking about Drake Younger. And I was thinking about seeing Drake Younger at, like, my first Tournament of Death and be like, I don't know anything about this. I'm just here for the spectacle, but that guy's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And, like, and then, like, I have a photo with him, a clean-shaven, smooth-faced Pat with Drake Younger bleeding, like a mark, like in, like, 2010, like, I'm shaking the hand of a bloody guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was pulling a full Servino. You know what I mean? And yo, dude, yeah. And I'm thinking about him. And then you think about, dude, this guy, seeing him in NXT was a trip. And then he fucking refereed Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda and whoever the fuck. Hey, am I wrong?
Speak of the damn
Speak of him.
devil.
Ladies and gentlemen, no, Larry, you take it away. You do it, Larry.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now live on Boulevard Bullies versus the World, our very special guest, pro wrestling legend, not just deathmatch legend, pro wrestling legend, the ultraviolet psycho shooter Drake Younger. Drake, thanks for joining us.
Larry, man, you're way too kind. I love you, my friend. It's so good to see you. And for those watching at home, this is legitimately the first time Larry and I have, other than messaging on Facebook, it's the first time we've spoken actually since California in April.
Yeah. Yep. And things seem to have been going swimmingly. At the end of California, it closed with you announcing you're having twins. You had just won the whole damn thing, and I'm thinking, I'm right where I need to be. And then things just like that, in a blink of an eye, they all changed.
It sure can, my friend. But dude, thank you so much for that introduction. I know we'll dive more into California throughout this. Everybody in Boulevard Bullies, Gins, everybody, Sean, guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm very, very stoked for this. For those watching, please forgive me. I just walked into my office. As Larry alluded, I just had we had twins and working a bunch of jobs and just always grinding, man. That's how me and Larry came up, and dude, we just don't stop. So I got good Wi-Fi. I got a charge. Take it over, Gins. I'm freaking stoked.
No,
dude.
Gins, don't take it over.
Yeah, don't make me take it over, Drake. Make the host take it over.
Not yet, Gins. Please.
Can we cuss on here in case something slips?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
Cuss away.
We're completely.
Fuck yeah, bro. Let's go.
Fuck yeah. Drake Younger, I just want to, this is Patrick from the Blvd Bullies. I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. I've been instructed by our viewers to not speak too much to the guests. So I just want to get my questions in real quick. We were just talking about, your career in CZW, Tournament of Death. That's how I was introduced to you. I have a photo of it was like my first event, Tournament of Death, and I took a photo with you shaking your hand. I think it was the year you won. I don't remember, but you had yellow trunks on and you looked great and you did great. I think it was maybe you and Scotty Vortex, maybe.
The yellow trunks I remember because I had the bald head.
Right.
Yes, I loved it.
2012.
Oh wow. Okay.
Me and Masada in the finals, and then one of my favorite matches, top 3 favorite matches I ever had in career, me versus Danny Havoc, second round.
Fire.
We had a mission. We were like, second round matches always just get forgotten about. We're like, fuck it. Second round's going to be the dopest fucking round in this POD. So, like, dude, yeah, we went like full tilt. But, dude, thank you so much. And I appreciate that, man. I still got that picture saved on my drive.
Yes, yeah, I'm fucking sure you do. I'm gonna call you on that one day. I'm gonna make you prove that next time you're on this show. But
show me the picture.
We save all our shit, Pat. We save all our shit. If Drake is anything like me, and I think he's just like me, we save everything.
The memories, bro. The memories.
So then, Boulevard Bullies continues. You are refereeing for NXT, and we stop you coming out of Madison Square Garden and talk to you about Pretzelmania and your nipples being shredded off. Do you remember that?
Hell yeah.
And then all of a sudden, so that was like a thrill for us, and you were, as always,
that was like a holiday tour show or something, right?
Yep,
it was Christmas time.
Yes, yeah, because we did it at the theater.
The Paramount, the theater, where I've done a lot of shows for Muay Thai and kickboxing and shit. So
and then
it's
one
cool
day
that we both, got in there.
And then I'm gonna let you guys take it over, but then I have to walk you through the story. And then one day I'm sitting on my sofa. And I'm watching WrestleMania, and who's the referee? And I was right about this. It's the tag match. The first Ronda match is what we're talking about with Drake. Shoe leather Drake. Browner than Larry at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I was the loudest one popping.
This guy was doing some kind of unhealthy amount of tanning, spray tanning. He had to go to different spots because they legally couldn't spray him as much as he wanted to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I don't really have a question, but I guess I just want to say, I guess I want to ask you to talk about that match, please.
Yeah.
Because the path of knowing you, leading into watching you do that, I got to know every single nugget that you can tell us, please.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And first off, and again, I'll try not to get too in the weeds here, but it's important because when I got assigned to do that match, and like we'll have a bunch of laughs on here, but like this is like what like that match to me, yeah, it was great for me, but like that shit was good for deathmatch wrestling because
yes.
When I got assigned that match, dude. I just thought about Gage was locked up, or he'd gotten out and he was tearing it up. I was thinking about him and Danny Havoc and guys that like at the time were on the indies and this was before Grant passed, and then just thinking about like the path. And dude, how I got that match, and this hasn't been talked about really in any interviews that I've done. Was just kind of, how I was brought up in the business, just first one in, last one to leave. Not every day, but that was the attitude. My attitude going into the Performance Center until I fucked shit up at the end. My attitude going into the Performance Center each day on a serious note was to go in there as if it was my first day on the job every day. Not meaning I go in there with a suit and all that shit. Like, just meaning like, hey, I'm here to do business and this is my job and whatever's needed, I'm here.
How early would you show up? Because Brian shows up to work a half an hour early.
That's pretty good. Cool. Dude, like I get in there like 6 or 7 in the morning. Classes will start at 8 or whatever, but a lot of times we have different duties. But during WrestleMania season, a lot of the main roster talent, they'll use the Performance Center, and especially kind of like your Batista or your Undertaker, they use that super Walmart of a wrestling school to get ready, to get back in shape. So they'll get in there with us and run the ropes and all that stuff. And so, dude, I was just there and just, Triple H was, they were rehearsing their match with Ronda and Kurt and Michael P.S. Hayes and Sarah Del Rey, who Larry's worked with many times. They were the producers or the agents for the match. And dude, I was there like helping out with some rookie classes and doing some work on the ropes and, just doing, just hanging out around there, just kind of doing some work. And Hunter was like, hey, we have some stuff going on that, we'd like to use the referee with in this match. Drake, would you mind coming in here? And I was like, oh yeah, boss, whatever you need. Sure. Of course. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, Rhonda, hey Drake, can you take that bump for her? And I'm like, a bump for Ronda Rousey? And I was like, and dude, she manhandled me. Or I mean, sorry, woman handled me, but like whipped me, dude, it was crazy. But and so that just it grew to like we were there until 12:30, 1 in the morning. And then literally 2 nights later, Larry, each year NXT gives they give the talent like 6 vacation days or something like that. Thinking about that, Larry, where you and I used to come up, like, dude, we had vacation days, dude. Like,
Right.
vacation for me.
Yeah.
Too. But anyway, so I was taking my little like mini staycay with the family, right? We went to Legoland each year. We stay at the little beach retreat.
Hell yeah.
His birthday is always around WrestleMania, and I was never home for it. So that week leading to, I'd make that special for him. So I'm at Legoland, and all of a sudden I get a call from Matt Bloom, Prince Albert, freaking A-Train, Lord Tensai himself, a freaking sweet, cool boss. He called me, dude, and I'm sorry, dude. It's emotional. Dude, he called me. He said, Drake, he goes, is your wife there? I said, yeah. Yes, sir, she is. He said, put her on. He goes, I just want to tell you too, because you're the only people that know outside of this office. He said, Drake, you're going to get your WrestleMania moment. He said, Trips wants you to rep his match. And Rhonda felt comfortable with you. And again, guys, I'm sorry for getting emotional.
Nah, man. Hell no,
Let's
bro.
go.
It's raw.
Seeing Larry, fuck, Larry makes me think of the old times, So, anyway, that's how it happened. And then, dude, I was on the clock every fucking ready for that match. It was amazing. And I told nobody but my wife and my grandfather, who's just recently passed away this year, the biggest wrestling fan.
Condolences.
Sorry, man.
That's the 2 people I told. It was fucking cool, man.
That's so dope,
that is
man.
fucking cool.
That's so cool, bro.
That was the last
dude.
Mania that I actually attended. And when I saw Drake come out as the ref, because I had no idea. When I saw Drake come out as the ref, I jumped to my feet in my section. I was like, yo, that's Drake. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs.
Real quick,
trying to make you hear me, and people are looking at me like, what's wrong with this guy? But it was like, that was my WrestleMania moment. Just seeing you out there in front of me and not knowing you were going to be there was like my WrestleMania moment right there in New Orleans.
Hey, dude, I mean, and the tan prep, just specifically to get into that, because at that time, it was on the regular 4 or 5 days a week in the bed. And then a spray right before the show. Okay, that was the formula.
Christ.
That was the formula. I like the '90s bed. Lay down bulbs, or that like that 2002 Triple H red tan.
Oh yeah,
91 Arn Anderson. That's what you want to go
for. Yes, a piece of meat.
Yeah.
A piece of meat. You wanna eat that piece of meat, bro? That's about it.
You in that time period, you made Matt Cardona look the hue of Brian. Like Matt Cardona's current tan.
Right now, he's got a good one going right now.
He's got a good one. He's probably the best one going right now. But the Drake from that time dwarfs the current Cardona. 100%. All right, guys, take it away, Larry. Thank you so much, Drake, for answering my question. And what a fucking response. That's the response I wanted, dude. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Take it away, Larry.
Drake knows.
And I'm gonna log onto my computer here because my phone it's at like 40%. So I don't think I'm not paying attention. I'm just getting logged on.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, I know you're paying attention to me. Mine's real quick. Just this past Saturday, I went out to MCW to check their show out, and the main reason I went was because they had booked Sammy Callahan, one of our old, running mates from the old dub, was in my neck of the woods, and I just left the house to go check it and to see Sammy. So my question to you, Drake, is now with all of the roads you've traveled, with all of the things you're doing, how often do you get to talk to or connect with like a Ruckus or a Nikki or fucking, Mox? Like, how often do you ever get to interact and talk Scotty, Devin Moore, the list goes on and on. Do you ever get to chop it up with any of the old guys from the dub?
So occasionally, yes, and Larry, you've been around this a couple decades now. You know that no matter how long, when you make a connection with somebody, doing what we do, this business, some old timers that are my age, they're like, don't call it art. It's not. No, it is art form. It's beautiful. For those of us that are in this, and whether it's a ring announcer, the referee, the scrawny Shawnee, or the crew that sets up the tape,
right.
you make a connection with them to where I dare say, if it's there, you're immediately willing to take a bullet for them because they're a fucking brother or sister or however they identify as in this business, and that commands something. And so, yeah, man, I get to see. I don't see many people that much unless we kind of cross paths on shows. But with Moxley and Nikki, it's like maybe once a month, maybe a couple times a month, just a quick text. With Mox, it's like a dad talk. Hey, how's the kids? Oh shit, he's like, you're having twins. Good God, you can't stop making them down there.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And then Scotty, I saw him about a year ago when I did AWR in Indianapolis. We got to hang out, chop it up, OMG.
Right on, David. Yeah, I love both of them
on Facebook, and then just in person and separate. But it's like we never left.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always great. Like I said, I went out to MCW specifically, to check Sammy. I hadn't seen him in a year. Same thing with CZW when they run Maryland. I know Swanee's going to be on CZW. I'll ride out there, not for nothing more than just to hug him, bro. Just because you never know.
I have not seen Sammy in a long, long time. Probably since he left NXT. 8 years ago, but we, a couple times a year we'll connect, and even me and Brett, not from like a promoter wrestler standpoint, but from from old brother standpoint, like in the trenches together. It's like we never left whenever we connect. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah. Anybody else want to jump in there with a question for Drake?
Yeah, Drake, absolutely.
Anybody got anything from the chat?
So Drake, I wanted to ask. You're part of an era in WWE that's etched in time. There was such a big change around then. And I want to know, like, how do you feel that roster's effect has on today's, wrestlers all around, between deathmatch wrestling and just regular pro wrestling altogether? Because, like, I always look at that time in wrestling like, yo, they just turned it up. It's getting crazy. You know what I'm saying? And we're at a different time now. You said Swanee 8 years ago. Now that I think about it, 8 years ago, that's quite some time now. So how do you feel that effect from wrestling back then has on today?
So, dude, the way you're right about that era. I specifically will point to like that let's call it 2015 to 2017.
Yep.
More.
Yeah.
2017 is probably my favorite year on the job of pro wrestling ever, and that I had. And you got to think at that time. So when I first came in 2014, backtrack really quick. I came in the same class as Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, Ben Balor, Mike Rawless, who he's with he was Happy Corbin, and Madcap Moss.
Madcap Moss.
They were in the same class, right? It's kind of, you would never think those four people would be together. With guys that were NFL football players and CrossFit. And me as the referee, I did whatever was asked of me, and then those guys, they were at the level they were at. Even me, like, and I don't think this is being cocky. Like at that time in 2014, Larry, I was doing decent, like really
hell
decent.
Yeah.
Independent standards, and gosh, I wish we had that economy we had then now. But but dude, that's the class I came into, and Sami Zayn, Generico, he told me one time, he's like, if you would have came in like a year or two later, they would have had you wrestle. And I'm like, wow, it's, I can't doubt that. So anyway, that being said, it was an influx of like independent badass wrestlers, like around, and then they got a good mix. This is the key ingredient as well, that a lot of us with our independent minds, we forget. They also got like a good mix of non-wrestlers, like Montez Ford ended up coming in, and Baron Corbin, he played for the Indianapolis Colts. Dude, he's one of the best heels ever. era. So that crew, that 2017 with the Riddle came in, dude. We had Gargano, Ciampa, oh my God, Revival, American Alpha, dude, on a show in Cocoa Beach in front of 250 people and 150 people at a National Guard armory. You were able to see Finn Balor versus Pac.
Bro.
No, you were able to see the Street Profits versus Forgotten Sons. Dude, you're able to see DIY versus Revival, the match that happened in Barclays Center.
Toronto.
Armory. So, dude, I had the best seat in the house every night, and dude, we had an attitude as talent, and as support staff, I guess you would call us. We had that attitude, like, dude, everybody talks about the main roster. Fuck it, we're gonna make this like the bomb stuff,
bro.
Yes.
And it was.
And I will say behind the scenes, again, just kind of peeling back the layers a little bit. When I came in 2014, that was kind of the transition of that Tampa era into the Performance Center.
Yes.
And I actually took a pay cut coming in at first, just because on the Indies it was common for me to have 4 matches a week at that time, and then shirts and DVDs at that time, Larry, were still hot. They were selling great.
Yeah.
I would get a piece of that too. And then, but obviously I wanted the longevity of WWE. And so I came in there, and for first kind of 6 months, it was a little bit of a struggle. And then, dude, when Finn Balor and Kevin Owens got on TV the fucking next week, dude, they're like, hey, Drake, you're getting a $10,000 raise. You get a contract. And then, like, every year I got a freaking raise because NXT kept getting, and then obviously my hard work too. But beyond that, the houses were there. The best we did at NXT was Nakamura and Samoa Joe on top.
Yes.
Gang busters, brother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I remember. Yeah.
All right, let's get more into deathmatch. Brian, take it
All
away.
right, so when you finally made your triumphant return to the Indies, XPW was basically, I remember you cut a promo that XPW was basically the only promotion that would touch you. So I was just wondering, what was your experience like working there and the reasoning for your abrupt departure?
Yeah,
Good question.
Nicely put.
The experience was absolutely incredible. And kind of it almost happened by accident. So when my time with WWE, came to an end, and out of nowhere, I was working out at a gym, and like one of the late night sessions, and it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I get a phone call, like a 1990s promoter phone call, like not a text, like, dude, that fucker's ringing. It's LA area code. I'm like, wow, that's weird. Ain't nobody calling me right now. And he goes, is that Drake Younger? And I was and so they were going to book me at first, but Rob, the boss, the owner, he didn't realize, because he wasn't kind of in the mix of the Indies after the original XPW kind of went away for a while. He didn't realize that, like, I was like a deathmatch guy. He just thought I was a referee, and so he said, well, hey, we're going to do this relaunch and everything. He goes, what would you want to come in? And like I gave him like a number that would reflect that of a death match with glass and barbed wire, and he thought I was giving that to him as like just a referee who was on NXT. And but I thought it was like talking about wrestling, and he thought I was talking about wrestling. And so he was like, oh, okay. And then he didn't call me again for another year. Not many people know that, but anyway, when it finally happened, I reached out to the office, and the XPW was getting ready to go into New Jersey for the first time, and so they needed something that was going to get enough, eyeballs and buzz and interactions, as the kids call it nowadays. So mentions, sorry. And so he's like, hey, would you want to work with Slack? I was like, fuck yeah. Oh, hell yeah. And while I was in the WWE bubble, just because of how busy it is, I couldn't really keep up with what was going on in the deathmatch scene other than like reels on Instagram. And so I didn't really know. I knew who the guys were. I hadn't seen a lot of their stuff. And I had seen Schlack because Grant told me about him, Danny Havoc. I was like, that's going to be freaking great. And you know, the internet chatter would work itself out. And I knew Larry. I was like, all right, XPW's giving me this opportunity to come in and prove to this new generation of fans who may think I'm one thing and not necessarily know about how I got my name in the past. So this is my chance to go out there and fucking just do what it is that we do, and that's death match motherfucking wrestling. I remember I met Schlack in California and freaking shook hands. I was like, dude, Danny Havoc spoke really well about you. I was like, you're fucking, you know, you're a brother, whatever you need. And he was super cool with me. We're complete polar opposites in real life, but we fucking bonded. And that's what's great about this business. So you know, we put so much into that match, and that's my favorite match I've ever had, me and Schlack. Because you know,
I won Death Match of the Year, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. It sure did. And so anyway, you know, that's what launched the XPW run and the return. It was kind of Larry was going to kind of just be a one-off. I was really just, yeah, I thought I was just going to do that one match with Schlack and be like, you know, but the bug bit me, as they say, and I was like, man, I was like, okay, I just got paid to go to college for 8 years, to pro wrestling college for 8 years, and like I got this crazy amount of like Larry fucking dude. I got a salary to go to wrestling class and sit and watch 4 hours of video with Shawn Michaels. How the fuck could I not walk away with something that I can give back to this business, and especially our little corner of deathmatch wrestling that the mainstream wants to sleep on, but they've realized we're fucking doing good business now. And so, you know, that's the attitude I took into XPW. You know, dude, I had the most fun, dude, just working with new people, and Big F and Joe, and obviously Arrow Boy, and the referees, Jimbo. You know, that's another thing I love, just helping out the referees. I got to, you know, tangle with Eric Ryan, and obviously the story with Schlatt. And, you know, as far as the, you know, abrupt departure, for me, you know, after, you know, I broke my back and everything, I legitimately thought I was done. And I apologize to everybody. I did a Terry Funk. I'm sorry, but I've kind of earned the right to do it once at least. So there we go. So I'm sorry. I said I retired and I came back, but yeah, it happens to everybody.
It's pro wrestling.
You know, so, you know, as far as when I came back from the back injury and, you know, I got rehabilitated and everything, you know, I wanted to give XPW the match with me and Alex Colon. And it was nobody's fault. We thought we had something secured in Florida. Venue fell through, not the office's fault, not my, you know, nobody's fault. It just happens. And then it didn't work out. But, you know, I was thinking, I was like, man, I've done so much here. And I don't think Schlack should ever lose. I think Schlack, he's the most believable deathmatch monster ever. So I was like, I don't know how much more, you know, what we can. I was like, you know, I got this chance. I feel like a new man. I got a new back pretty much. I feel amazing. I was like, you know, what if I try to do something over here? And you know, me and Circle Six, they were very helpful and beneficial while I was down and injured.
They gave you the back. They transplanted the back for you.
Yeah.
That's it. You owe them because they gave you a human back.
Yes. Circle Six paid the Armenians to make sure that I got a back.
Exactly. I knew it.
It's always the Armenians.
Billionaire backers, dude. Billionaire backers. That's what we're saying.
It's solid steel. No.
Legit backer.
But you know, that the relationship had been there. And again, I was like, what do I want my legacy to be remembered as? And like, you know, obviously there's a sector of the world that's, you know, that they have their opinion, and look, there's a lot of stuff that I was involved in that look, I honestly regret, and I'm very sorry for it. And so that's my chance to come back and be like, what I want people to remember me as, Larry, you know, in this business is for the work I put in the ring and the talent that I worked with that I wanted to elevate, and I want them to judge me by the family that I'm raising at home. And, you know, I can walk away just saying that I never, you know, screw anybody over or anything like that, man. That's what we got. And plus, Larry, dude, we got guys we got to do this for. You know, I feel like this is for Danny Havoc. This is for Trent Atson. You know what I mean? guys that can't be here anymore. It's for brain damage. It's for Nate Hayes.
Brain damage. Yep.
Yep.
All right, I'm
Yep,
gonna
yep.
try to. I want to try to get some fan questions in too, because we're running out of time.
I have
Good.
a fan question here from can I ask one that I wrote down?
Please do.
Yeah.
Brian.
I wrote this from a Donald.
Essentially, the roundabout answer is I had new opportunities to work with people that could leave a legacy for.
I hear that.
Hell yeah. All right, go
Hey,
ahead,
Drake.
Brian. I'm sorry to cut you off, Drake. I'm trying to get everybody
No,
in here.
no.
Everybody's
Please cut me off. I'll talk all night.
everybody's so into this, and we all are too. So we want to get everything in that we can. Yeah.
This
ahead,
question it comes from Donald Holland.
Oh.
It's,
Mr. Holland.
what do you think about the young talent like Atticus, Tommy Vendetta, Akira, Malcolm 3, Otis, who worked with Circle 6, and what do you think you can do to elevate Circle 6?
Good question, Donald.
Dude, awesome question. The talent nowadays, they're freaking phenomenal because they got so much. I'm gonna log off this one again.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I love this. Is great. This is great. This is awesome.
Oh.
Started-
I was like, oh, what the
yeah. So
I was like, what the fuck is going on, yo? Like, Drake Younger connecting.
Oh
like,
my
what?
God. It's a good.
Smooth with the technology, Drake Younger.
Clone
Smooth
Drake
with the technology.
from the billionaire backer. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Your
Oh,
audio.
no audio. We can't hear you.
We lost him. See, we uncovered the secret, but the Circle 6
He's
is fucking
got
with us,
it.
dude.
He's got it.
I know I look like.
Why did you mention the backers, Pat? Now he blocked his audio.
We mentioned the backers, dude. The Armenians. They found us. I don't know how, but they found us.
Anonymous is about to send the video.
Oh,
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
I got this one.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Hey,
He's back.
there we go.
All right, cool. All right, so as long as you can hear me, cool deal. I'm my bad, guys. So
No worries,
You're
man.
good. You're good.
yeah, the question was
Future of Deathmatch. The Atticus and some of the names.
Otis.
Atticus. He has character development that's just phenomenal. He's got a look that's marketable. The girls like him. The dude.
Yeah, he's
fans
hot.
of him. Yeah. So yes, he is.
I had to.
Larry's a
Come
fan.
on,
He knows
Larry.
I
Come
like
on.
Larry's a fan. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I fucking like me some Addy.
Beyond that, he puts a lot of thought into his matches and his story. Tommy Vendetta, dude, so much energy, such a lively soul, and guys like oh gosh, like an Akira, dude. Where he has so much natural talent, dude. It's insane. Eric Ryan, who is also kind of from my generation, but he found himself like after I was gone, and dude, I think pound for pound, he may be the best damn one in America.
Wow.
Dude, he's so smooth, dude. Fucking, he's like Randy Orton of fucking death matches, dude. It's
Wow.
awesome.
Wow.
And then guys, I'm a Big F and Joe. Again, sorry, I've been hit with a lot of chair shots in 2007. So anyway, Big F and Joe, guys like that, dude, incredible. And what I can do to elevate them, each time I'm in the ring with them, with guys like that, I want them to take away something. Like with me and Dale Patricks, I got to have 30 minutes with him, and we just got a blank canvas, go out and have some fun death match shit. And so I was like, hey, dude, let's go for it tonight.
That was dope.
And I got to just teach him about slowing down, about naturally getting over to the hard cam, about making sure that the fucking camera can see this 6 to 8 inches, because this is what's going to make your money, kid, is this.
Dropping the gems on them. Take notes, kids.
Yep, yeah, and talk about, hey, these are the workouts you should do. This is the fucking spray tan that you want to get.
Hell
Oh yeah, we know you know.
We're like, oh
We
my
know
God,
you
yeah.
know.
Okay, let's keep it going. I want to go lightning round. I want to get everybody in. What is the funniest thing that you ever heard in your headset while in a WWE ring?
Billy Kidman would fuck with us a lot, but he would do it like in high pressure situations. It's one thing at a live event or a house show, right? But it's like WrestleMania. In my headset, Michael Hayes said, "All right, Drake, let's go, yeah, do." And then Billy Kidman got on there. Billy Kidman got on there. He's like, "All right, Drake, 78,000 people here. Don't fuck it up. I hear Geico Insurance is hiring." You know what I mean? He's relentless, but he has the hardest job in that company.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's
It
awesome.
happened to happen, and I learned it. And again, I'm not going to talk long on this. I'm sorry, but that's one thing. Like, I was a deathmatch guy, and I got to be in Gorilla in fucking WWE. Mr. McMahon, Ben is sitting right next to me, and Kevin Dunn's in my ear. And all right, Drake, we're ready. Ben, sir, we're ready. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, holy shit. And Vince like got mad about something. He's like, get out of the fucking shot. No, it wasn't at me. It just at the, and I'm like, he's going ballistic and nuts. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking here right now.
This is real.
Man. You know what I mean? I was like, dude, this is fucking deathmatch guy here, bro. I was like, that's awesome.
So sick, man.
Yo, this has been amazing. There are so many questions to ask, but I think we're
Gins, I can stay up all, I can stay longer if you have the airtime. I don't know how your logistics are.
Oh,
go to
I mean, you
9.
can stay as long as you want, but after this question, I think it's just going to boil down to you arguing with Ginn. So, because then I'm going to start asking the hard hitting. But I was going to, the next one was the most important one, and a lot of fans asked this. So there's multiple people putting this in, which is awesome. I love that. Please keep commenting, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Drake Younger, a fucking wrestling legend. People are saying, what are some of your fondest memories of Danny Havoc?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, my favorite one that comes to my mind was, I would say, our third trip to Japan. The first one was awesome, and just that in and of itself, that me and my fucking brother got to go to Japan and other countries multiple times. That's how we thought of CZW. I know Larry did that crew. You talk about cruising eras. That 2009 and 2011 CZW, unfucking touchable. And so that when we went around the world, when Japan called us, that was our dream, dude. That was it.
Yeah.
And I'll say it, my absolute favorite. It's hard to boil it down, but top of my head, favorite moment, January 2013. Me and Danny Havoc, we got to wrestle Big Japan each year. They hold an event at Corcoran Hall on New Year's Eve, and it goes to where they're wrestling at midnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And, we did like the big countdown, and we're in the ring, and light tubes fall on it. We were doing a match with Asami and Miyamoto, and there was just this point, fucking me and him rolled outside of the ring, and the camera. Everybody knows the business at this point. Old timers will hate this, but like the camera was off of us, and so we did the deal, right? And I remember we happened to go to the same corner, like under the ring, and I looked at him. I was like, dude, Happy New Year, bro. It was like we were Cork and Hall, dude, and like New Year's Day is like opening
Doing the thing. Doing the thing.
We're main eventing that son of a bitch. Just getting way too much color for the fucking small shot that we did. But that's got to be my favorite. And then that third tour that we did, and also on that tour, Larry, you'll appreciate this. They had like a little ceremony where me and him like sat down at this nice hotel that they got us, and we signed like contracts, right, to be like, and that was our, they probably meant as much as the paper they were on, but to me, him and I, like, that was a big fucking deal. You know what I mean? That was like the relationship with CZW was strained, and we felt like him and I helped solidify it and bring it back.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Brian,
and then after that, it got fucked up again. But y'all brought it back together. Like we're over there for multiple tours under the DJ administration after the John administration, but then it got messed up again.
Any good JC stories?
Jason, dude, absolutely. He was one of my. Sorry, I'm plugging in here.
Bailey, if y'all JC Bailey,
just don't clone yourself again.
We first met in 2002. So, when I very first broke, I wasn't even really like officially trained at the time. And instant bond, he's a Kentucky guy. Me and Scotty and Dustin and OMG, we were Indiana guys. So we were on a lot of shows. Also, the Chicago guys like CM Punk and Cole Cabana, they would be on the same shows with us. So it was a cool group. But anyway, man, we bonded, and I think, oh man, dude, one of my favorites, just anytime that we would drive to Philly, because at that time, Mike Burns had took him back over as the booker. DJ had just bought the company. And they would rent us like a 15-passenger van, and it would be like me and Moxley and JC and Ego and like Aerial Assault or and Scotty or and Rodney
Carter.
Rush. Yeah, we drive. Yeah, whoever we drive that 13 hours to Philly and just being in the ride with him, man. Each month it was. I didn't know it would be like the last 2 months that I would see him, but it was just special, dude. He was just so grateful. He had been in jail for a little bit and he got out. He's a Pulp Fiction and having some great matches, dude. Fuck, they were sick. They were sick.
All right, let's go around the let's go around the table. Brian, final question for Legend Drake.
We asked this to mostly all of our guests. Who's your American Deathmatch Mount Rushmore?
American
Deathmatch Mount Rushmore.
Again's come. Wow. Okay, on the spot, live. Here we are.
Yep, American.
Mount Rushmore of American deathmatch wrestler.
35 viewers, Drake. Don't fuck it up. There are jobs at Geico.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I'm gonna and in no order. I can't do 5 through 1.
No.
So 4. The top 4. Yeah, 4 around Mount Rushmore. Nick F. Gage, absolutely. Madman Pondo.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yep, because none of us would be here without him. I'll say that. At least not in this corner of the wrestling world. And then I'm gonna go with Danny Havoc. Okay. Can they be dead or alive? Sorry, can they be like
it's Mount Rushmore.
They're alive.
Just chisel them in stone.
Danny Havoc, and then for number 4. Oh man, Number 4, I'm gonna say, and it's got to be American. Number 4 is gonna be for me, Masada.
Friend of the Bullies.
Friend of the Bullies. Nice. Friend of the program. And also, final question.
I'm sorry, 4A and 4B.
Okay, who's B?
4A Masada and Necro.
And Necro. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
But, and I'm talking 2006 Necro.
We could change Rushmore because doesn't another show do Rushmore? Let's do like Hot 97 top 5 dead or alive.
Top 5
dead or alive. Yes, Pat.
Like
top
that.
5 dead or alive.
I like that.
Yes, Pat.
Necro, Masada, Nick F. Gage, Madman Pondo, and
Danny Havoc.
Danny Havoc. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Medical marijuana and chair shots.
Hell
hey,
and a brand new cloned metal back from Circle 6. Hey, thanks.
Dude, yes. And we're going to talk about this Sunday, Circle 6, before we get off here. But I will say this, and I've spoken with Gins offline about this. When I got out of surgery from my back, the hospital wanted to just instantly give me a bunch of like Percocets and all this stuff. And my wife Valerie says hello, by the way, Larry.
Hey Val.
What's up, Val?
Yes.
You introduced Val to everybody when you first got with her. I'll never forget that. You walked her around to everyone and introduced her to the entire locker room. I'll never forget that.
That's when you knew it was serious. But,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But she's got the twins and my other kids right now. Amazing woman. But be that as who are we talking about? Chair shots. Oh, the Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
I forgot too.
That's who it is. Yeah.
It's okay.
My question for you, Drake, is
medical marijuana.
Oh, there we go.
The Percocets. Hospital tried to prescribe me
fire it up.
NWO. They tried to prescribe me Percocets, and I was like, man, Valerie was like, babe, like all of our, we had so many friends, like, that's not good. And so I got a second opinion because I knew what I would do if I just had a bunch of Percocets. You know what I mean? What's happened to so many guys in this business. And so what I did, I got a second opinion. Florida's medical marijuana state. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, this is the best pain relief ever. Dude, I absolutely applaud medical marijuana.
Yeah.
That is somebody who never smoked weed would say. That is something that someone who never smoked weed before would say.
I love the ganja. I love the buds. As Scotty Vortex would say, give some of them herbs.
Right. Hell yeah. Scotty's
Go
a
ahead,
dad now too.
Sean. Sean.
So
sorry.
my question for you, what is your favorite Dusty Rhodes story?
Yes, I got to
Good
spend the last year of his life working
question,
with him. We
Yeah.
would do promo class, and the referees would run like the microphone audio, so I got to mix it up with him a little bit and just talk about my favorite thing. Because we were talking about blade jobs, right? And he said young. He called me Muggs because he said like I look like somebody that would be wanted by the old school sheriff, and I would have like a mug shot like on a poster. So he called me Muggs for some reason, and he said, Muggs, he goes, baby, you got to go Puerto Rico style. So he was talking about going he said you got to go Puerto Rico style, baby. So that was one of my favorite things. And one regret I have is I never took a picture with him. And we joke about pictures and stuff, and I save everything. That's one of my biggest regrets. So for anybody out there, that's there was a whole big thing about, don't take the picture, you're a mark. No,
Right.
Picture. There's memories.
He's got a picture of me and him on his hard drive, but none of him and Dusty Rhodes. Just think about that. Think about that next time you don't want to be a mark and not take a picture.
Exactly.
Mug, baby.
Brian, you got final thoughts. Larry, you got final thoughts for Drake?
I'm gonna wait till he gets back, but of course.
I'm plugging in. I'm good now.
Hey, he's back.
All right, here it is. I'm gonna lay it all out on the line.
Drake, that's the tough ones.
Drake, we know your history in the game. Uncle Ian Rotten just announced that he's coming back for one more rodeo, and it's going to be a big one. Would you appear on an IWA Mid-South show in 2023?
And would you advocate for all four of us being the commentary team for that show?
So at this point in the game, and let me preface it with this, I credit Ian Rotten with training me. He trained me for free. He didn't charge me anything. And all I had to do was just, be a student, clean up and everything. And he took me, sweep, clean the piss bucket at the time. It's gross. That's how it was at the time. There was kayfabe locker rooms. In 2003, there was no cell phones really, or cell phones were, newish.
Yeah, right.
And so
big and clunky.
Yeah, kayfabe locker rooms. And so Ian didn't like his talent to be seen out amongst the fans. And so he had buckets in there for the guys, and the trainees' jobs was put on gloves and go empty the piss bucket. So that's how I paid for wrestling school. Point being, Ian, throughout the 8 years that I was with him, never charging for gas money, never charging for food or anything like that. Ian, when he's doing great, everybody else is doing fine too. And I think if you ask like Jimmy Jacobs or some of the guys that were closer to him back then, I think they'll say the same thing. Again, what happened while I was in WWE, I was in the bubble. It's a proverbial bubble. I didn't know what was going on with Ian. I know there's stories of, instances that happened that were proven where fans were owed money and stuff like that. So again, I'm not speaking to that. I'm speaking about how John Williams treated Drake Wirtz when Drake Wirtz didn't have a father figure around at the time. And so I'll speak to that human being side of John Williams. And now where we're at in 2023, I would not work there, and it's not necessarily because of ill will, because him and I, we made up. We're fine. It's just more so the schedule at this point at the game. With me, I'm almost 40, 39.
Good.
I feel phenomenal. It's the best shape I've ever been in, but I also want to make sure that I don't punch the bump card too much.
Right.
So what I have with Circle 6 right now, and I'm very fortunate, and I want to teach guys the business side. You want to talk about how I can elevate guys? I want to teach them the business side of this, because dude, when I went to Japan, I saw that the guys this was their full-time job. They were in the gym every freaking day. They were, went to Golds, and they fucking helped out with the ring. They were a crew. They were a team. And they made a living off this. And on top of that, they had families as well. Kasai has children, and Sakimoto has. And so I saw you can like be you can be successful at this. And the guys nowadays, they have so many revenue opportunities with streaming and merch. So I want to teach them that side, so that way they can be around in 15 years. Like you know what I mean? I want death matches to continue. I want to do everything I can to make sure that fucking is respected, and the guys have elevated it so much these days.
Hell yeah.
Joey Janela, he had badass death matches with Takeda, dude. You know what I mean? There's been guys that they're just absolutely incredible, dude. Schlack, obviously, it's just the game is there's so much better, so many more quality, talented, actual professional athlete wrestlers nowadays than there were when I broke in.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Everybody, thank you, Drake Younger. Everybody say thank you, Drake Younger. Drake Younger.
Thank you,
Drake.
Hey,
You are
listen,
the
guys.
best. You are the man, dude.
Thank you. Hey, thank you so much. Look, this Sunday, guys, it's for free. Free 99 on YouTube. Circle 6, Highway to Hell. Dude, bring in the freaking fire. And I'm coming back. I had my comeback match with Dale Patricks. Absolutely had the time of my life. It was such a blast. And now I get to run it back with Arrow Boy. Him and I,
One and only time I've ever seen you wrestle live, by the way, is when you wrestled Arrow
hell
Boy.
yeah.
It was amazing. It was a great fucking match that I've
Because
seen.
Brian's he's a new fan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm newer in the deathmatch
Which is
scene.
why
Yeah.
Brian is wrong and you
I'm
are
lucky.
right.
I'm
Ladies
lucky
and
enough.
gentlemen,
I'm
thank
lucky
you,
enough
Drake
to have seen
Younger.
Drake Younger live.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
so anyway.
And Brian, just tell Drake Younger once again, thank you for letting me see you live.
Thank you for letting me see you live.
That's right. That's
No.
goddamn right, Brian.
Thanks for coming, Brian.
Thank you for coming on my
No,
show.
thank you
On
for
my
coming,
show.
Brian. Thank you
It's
for
a
coming,
blast.
Brian.
God damn it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Drake Younger. Bye, Drake.
Love you, Drake.
Bye.
See you guys. Peace out.
kids
Love you,
for me.
ladies.
Bye.
Right
Thanks,
on, see
guys.
you, man.
All right, now you.
I know we'll see each other again soon.
Amen, brother. Take care, guys. Thank you
Later,
so much.
man. Thanks for coming on,
Highway
bro.
to Hell this Sunday.
you
Highway to
hang
Hell.
up.
Fuck yeah.
You hang up.
Circle 6 on YouTube.
No, you hang up.
Yeah, you gotta hang up.
You gotta hang up, Drake. There you go.
I like
Guys.
springing on them that they have
Guys.
to hang up.
What a fucking delightful fucking
What a
interview.
nice man. Guys,
What a
can we just
delightful fucking interview.
Hey, can we just all right now
That was dope.
put our hands over our hearts and say the Pledge of Allegiance?
Here we go.
One,
Who's leading
You
it?
just leave.
two.
You just.
I'm gonna
you
lead
just
it.
say
I'm gonna lead it. One,
You just say. You just say it.
2, 3. I pledge
I pledge
allegiance
allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
flag
of the
of the
United
United
States
States
of
of
America
America,
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
from
for
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and
and
justice
justice
for all.
or none.
I feel like the end of National Lampoon's Vacation.
Hell yeah, dude. Yo, you know what? And man, the hits keep on coming. This is another guy who's got a fucking brain in his head.
Dude.
Forgetting he got hit in the brain a lot of times. He remembered a lot, but he kept saying.
Yo,
that
and you know what? He
forgetting.
was so nice. I would have liked to have gotten into him talking about his like shit. Even I feel like
Well,
we could have maybe even
We didn't
gone
have
there.
enough time. We
You
didn't
know
have
what,
enough
so
time.
I-
Well,
look,
and
but I
also-
think the
I was gonna
time
say
that
right
we
now.
have allotted is perfect. It's perfect. Get it all in.
Well,
I
was
said,
gonna say,
you know,
if-
he was going to
if
last
we-
till the
if
end,
we-
and I sent the group text. I said, "Yo, this guy, we're cutting him off at 8:45 the
Bro,
latest."
if we're gonna be doing 1 or 2 interviews a month, when we have the interviews, we should give the guest maybe an
The entire
hour or
hour.
45
Well, no, but
minutes.
it's not-
Okay, off topic.
It's
Let's
not our
get
fault
the best
that they-
last 10 minutes of our show. We're sucking our own dicks right
It's
now.
not our fault that one question the guest answers for like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? It's not like we can only, and you know, everyone's just complaining about how we're interrupting. I try to like kind of cut in there, move it along maybe.
You moved it along very well.
You know what I'm saying?
Pat,
So
you did a good job, but you gotta know your guest. Like some of these guys like to tear into questions and like moonsault off of them.
yeah, but
into,
I also serve the fans. I also serve our people. You know, I got to ask those questions
you
too.
do, Pat, and that's why I'm saying you should be the host of Boulevard Bullies versus the world, not the fucking,
Yo, maybe we should tell him, like, I want to provide to you a safe space for you to come on and do part 2. And I want to talk about the school board shit.
Bro,
I want to talk
off
about all the
topic.
shit.
Let's use the
Did you-
last minutes
Okay,
of our
did
show
you
for
guys
our
hear about
show.
the tube shortage, the tube
Yes,
becoming
yes,
illegal in
yeah.
Japan? It's gonna
Decoys
be-
are gone.
They're
being
gonna
phased
be,
out.
but they're being phased out, and there's gonna be a tournament, a light tube tournament, to use all the rest of the tubes in Japan.
So
One show where all the tubes are broken.
Right.
But this is the crazy thing. I thought that these tubes were just being banned for deathmatch wrestling. No. They're being
worldwide
banned
ban.
yeah, for the Mercury.
Right.
That's horrible.
Yep.
So does
Well,
that
if
mean
you've watched Michael Cervino, the Nerds video upon the mercury in light tubes, it's very minuscule and unharmful mercury.
He would say that.
It's a scientific video.
Yeah, but Fauci said
science.
No more.
Well, I'm just saying there's a video of science.
So is Eric Ryan ahead of the curve with the terracotta plants? Are the terracotta plants going to now?
God, the terracotta.
I've seen that they make plain glass tubes.
Listen, I'm gonna say this.
Like plain glass things. They're like plain glass tubes.
Why can't you just make plain glass tubes with like baby powder in them?
You could.
They're called gimmicks.
Do that.
Make them a gimmick. Yo, could we get that into
Put little
production?
fucking
Could we like
poppers
start
in
a
there
factory?
too? Make a big old fucking noise.
Could we do
I'm
like
gonna
a
say this,
factory?
Brian. I'm a fan of the tubes. I enjoy the tube. There's nothing like hearing the sound of that pop as soon as you walk into that building. But I also grew up in the era of Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome. I also grew up in the era.
So they got to go back to chair shots to the head.
Not chair shots to the head.
That's what I thought he was getting at, Pat. I was like, what?
No, he's absolutely right, actually.
There's ways to be brutal without using the tubes.
Barbed wire, gussets, Kenzans in their heads.
It's pure adrenaline, pure shots, pure slams, uses of tables, jumping to the outside, and just
more dangerous devices.
Pat, how about when you were with Masato Tanaka in Walmart? Did you notice Tanaka kind of is like an old dog that can't really like turn all the way?
Turn
like
left.
He's kind of like stuck in one position from all the fucking damage.
Yeah,
that's what Brian said. You can't turn left.
Yeah, he's like. He just was like,
ladies and gentlemen at home, if you missed last night's episode and you want to watch me shopping for Masato Tanaka's unborn twins,
I was mad at y'all for that. I remember.
Why were you mad?
Because I was like, you motherfuckers. I was like, you motherfuckers stuck around and picked your spot. You picked your
Hell
spot.
yeah, of course.
I didn't think it was going to make Brett very happy, but little did I know that was my last GCW show anyway.
Well, little did I know that Danny put me on to undermine and fuck with Brett. And then I got a great video out of it.
Deathmatch drama!
And by the way...
Deathmatch drama! 2019 edition, bitches!
One thing you don't know.
Up in this motherfucker.
One thing you don't know about the video, as you implored us to not suck our own cocks, but now we're sucking them in a different way.
You do good work!
But,
you do good work!
But, you know, I was also with Kiko Man. Who's the fucking guy with the mask?
Kiko Taro-san.
Kiko Taro.
So and I ate at IHOP with them as well. And we had
the scariest comedy character ever in wrestling. I'm so freaked out by Kikutaro every time I see him.
Yeah, he was there without a mask. I've seen him without a mask on. Hey, by the way, if you want to win this fucking Eddie Kingston card, all you got to do is not right now, but after the video ends, leave a comment about the video. And then what we're going to do is we have a whole fan mail episode. A fan mail segment in the next episode.
Okay, Pat.
You get it. Hey, Brian, can we talk about, to the fans who maybe might not be smartened up, can we talk about what you did to Eddie Kingston to get him noticed by Cody Rhodes?
Yes.
I informed him that his physique wasn't in the best shape and that he needed to do some sit-ups.
How did you say it, though?
I said, you need to do some sit-ups.
So walk it back, though. Larry, you were there. Larry,
at first, he was fucking pontificating and like catching his own breath because he was so fat.
Well, what was the
that
match?
He was out of breath for about 5 minutes.
So hold on. Ryan is exactly right. He was selling the Brett Eisen match. I believe it was Brett Eisen.
Yes, sir.
And it was a very hard, grueling, on the ground affair. So he was like leaning against the chains and going, "Oh God, motherfucker, you took me to the limit."
He needed a second to collect his thoughts.
At the perfect time said,
"You need to do some sit-ups."
Jesus
Eddie
Christ.
didn't like that.
No.
Eddie didn't like that because when Eddie commands the spotlight, as any Sagittarius, they don't want no motherfucking other motherfucker in that light. And Brian jumped his motherfucking horned ass right into that
I'm
light.
sorry. At first, I told him to hurry up and get out of the fucking ring, is what I said while he was leaning on the ropes trying to catch his breath.
Oh,
and Larry, you ring announce this match and and announce the winner of this match?
I was the MC.
Was Brian acting like a maniac during this match?
You know, Pat, we were all fucked up at this show. We were all feeling the libations, reveling in the devil's lettuce. We were gone. And I always notice that it's rowdy about it in the Boulevard Bullies section. So yes, I do remember Brian really commanding a lot of the audience attention. Very similar to the guy that I put on commentary at Halloween Hell Night.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I will tell you that if you put me on commentary like that guy, I would be just as terrible as that guy was. Made me so tight. I hate that happened.
I'd like to be on commentary.
But I just want to say that night is legendary. That is a legendary night. I tossed my chair in the ring. My chair went in the little ring. I threw my drink in Eddie Only's face when he asked me for it.
The little ring.
The little ring.
Legendary night, dude. And that match, the Eddie Kingston match, I didn't yell at him until he fucking took too long to take his promo.
And then
I was pro Eddie Kingston.
And then walk us through.
Brian didn't want to wait any longer.
I did not want to wait any longer.
He didn't want to wait any longer.
You did everything but get in the ring.
So basically what happened is that Eddie was gassed and taking a minute to do his like final after match promo. And you told him to do some sit-ups, and then he immediately stopped everything he was doing and told you that he was gonna thumb your eye out, basically.
Because he does real shit.
He does real shit, and he's gonna thumb your eye out and break your jaw and kill you, basically.
Right. He said, security, let this man in. Security, let this man in.
So why didn't you go, Brian? Why didn't you go in?
Because I'm just a fan. I rather yelled at him. I enticed him to yell at me, and I got him into AEW.
And that's what happened. If anybody has watched Daniel Day-Lewis,
he has this little card.
There's a thing called method acting, and once Brian told Eddie Kingston that he was indeed fat, Eddie Kingston, Eddie Kingston was so angry at Brian.
I will you up.
I will fuck you up. I will thumb your eye out. He was so angry at Brian that the thing that he had already planned to try to get himself over, which by the way, would have probably sucked. It probably would have sucked, but because Brian,
he's a sag. He knows
because Brian had given him the anger that he needed to get into that method acting
slapped
place.
His little butt.
Because basically what Eddie Kingston was doing was he was signing his letter of resignation and getting ready to collect unemployment. He was like, hey, he was like, I'm wrestling out here in a farm with no. I was about to quit. Right, I haven't shaved in 6 months. I haven't done anything in 6 months. I'm wrestling for Danny DeManto. There's not even ropes, there's chains. I'm in the middle of a farm. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna call out 3 people who can make me some money, maybe, hopefully, and who even gives a fuck, and I'll just never wrestle again. And he goes, Zack Sabre Jr., Nick Aldis, Cody Rhodes. That was his plan. That was his fucking retirement speech. That was his last $5 on a Pick 6 lottery ticket until Brian told him that he was fat, and he decided he wanted to murder Brian, and he took that energy and put it in his soul, and Cody Rhodes goes, this guy's got a little something.
Good. This guy's good. I like him. And by the way, then the next time you see Eddie Kingston, perfectly manicured beard.
Look at him.
Perfectly
manicured beard. The eyebrow slits. The eyebrow slits, and I guarantee you before
looking svelte here a little.
You remember the first time from Yonkers? Yeah, he lost the weight. All right, it's 9:00. Come on.
You remember the Wednesday that he came out to challenge Cody Rhodes and he was so perfectly fucking manicured? I guarantee you he watched that video of Brian calling him fat before he went out to cut that promo.
It is also funny that there's an article that says that he doesn't care about what people say about his appearance. He's not bothered.
Sure
he's not bothered. There's an article that just came out that says he's unbothered.
He knows what he's doing.
He's unbothered.
What he's doing.
I have video proof that he gets a little bit bothered.
He's kind of doing right what Chris Heroes has no choice but to do.
Hey, guys, what an episode.
Next week, we link. We're going to be together next week.
We'll be together.
Wait, what's happening next week?
XPW.
There's going to be one more show. There's one more
Well,
show.
We got one more show. We got one more
with
show
the
before we leave.
Necro MAGA Butcher.
Doctor, did
You have to think-
just jump
I'm
the
excited.
gun?
I'm
He jumped the
excited.
gun a little bit.
You
It's
jumped
next
the
week, though.
gun.
We have to
Next
figure out
week.
how to call the Necro Butcher
We
on
have
his
to
regular
figure
cell
out
phone.
how to get
Let
this Zoom.
Amazon him a
Got to
tablet.
be an
Let
American.
Amazon him a
Amazon
tablet.
him a cheap tablet. A $44.95 tablet.
No, because he also then needs an internet connection.
He might need internet.
And I proudly stand up.
He
Next
must
to
have.
you,
He must have a
at least.
smartphone because he has Facebook.
And
He must have something.
something.
We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure it. He must have something because he has Facebook.
Freedom isn't free. It
Yo, when he
costs
comes-
folks
bro,
like you and me.
When he comes out, he comes waving the flag. He's like,
His little Proud Boy shirt.
it's
Bro.
freaking hilarious.
I like when he wears the black and yellow.
The Proud Boy shirt.
No,
That's
no.
the Proud. That's
No.
the Proud Boys, Larry.
No,
That's the
Larry,
Proud
no.
Boys, Larry.
Bro.
You don't
And
like
I'm
that,
proud
Larry.
to be an American.
No. At least I know
I
I'm
love that
free.
shit, bro. And I won't forget the men who died.
Who gave their life. Let's destroy our studios. Let's
And
all
I
four of us
remember
destroy our studios right now.
Up.
Next to you. Lisa.
Next week, come see Boulevard Bullies with the Mega Butcher.
Yo, it's
Remember
another
when I
pretty good
used to
show.
be remember when I used to be a fan and I'd be in the chat and I'd be like, yo, hit that music. Hit that music.
Hit that music, Pat.
So, Larry, when can you come out to the Boulevard Bullies theme?
When can we all come out
Come on,
together?
you know what are we gonna let the cat out of the bag? You know what we're doing. You know what we're doing.
Wow.
Let it
Come on.
happen. Let it happen.
Come on.
Brian, just
Don't
let
even
it happen.
fucking- Come on.
Yeah.
You're gonna let the cat out of the bag. We know.
I love cats.
How about you
I
go
love 'em.
wash the cat? Go wash the
Go
cat.
wash your
My
cat,
cats are
Brian.
clean, Sean.
Put
My
it in
cats
the
are clean.
bag.
My
Hello.
pussies are clean in this
Play
house.
that fucking track.
Yo, let me
All
tell you
pussy's
something,
clean.
everybody.
Play that fucking track.
First of all, first and foremost, I just want to thank our death match legend guest this evening,
Oh,
Drake
God.
fucking Younger.
What
I
the
didn't
fuck
like-
did we just
And
do?
everything you fucking heard about him, it's over. It's over. You saw that man cry. You saw that man cry
Bro.
Cry.
about thinking
Tears
about Danny
of
Havoc when
wrestling
he's
passion.
at WrestleMania.
You made the man cry,
Wrestling
Patrick.
passion.
And that's
brought
why
the
he
man to
gets
tears.
$5,000.
That's why Circle Six
$5,000.
cloned him.
Bro, he has an X-Men
We
claw.
proved it on this very show.
Billionaire backer.
We
And-
proved it on this very show.
He basically promised us that we can be the commentators for the next Ian Rotten thing. He basically promised us
He's
and
not
guaranteed
He promised us.
guaranteed that he definitely got a steal back from Circle Six and the billionaire backers, and he confirmed that they were Armenians as well. So we got to the bottom of it for sure
Thank
this
you
episode.
for being a friend.
And listen,
What
if you
happens here on
think
Boulevard
that the
Boys?
bottom that we got to tonight was as
I
low
beat
as
the
we could
bottom.
go, it's actually just scratching the surface, because there is a road always lower, and that road is taken by the Boulevard Bullies. So burn your bridges, talk your fucking shit. And by the way, if you are one of our enemies, I must unfortunately insist that you look yourself dead in the mirror and die fucking slow. Boulevard Bullies forever. I forgot one thing. Out of time.